Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Welcome back to Frankenstein Control, and welcome back to Hell World 3.0, the most current build. They went and added a patch for Hell World 2.5 that did a non-negotiable overnight update, just like Windows 10. Nobody asked for it, and it's awful, but there's nothing you can do now that we're flying into the Bermuda Triangle, and our pilot is a 12-foot-tall plastic Halloween skeleton folded roughly into the cockpit wearing a name tag that says Jeffrey Epstein.
I want that skeleton.
We all want that skeleton. But yes, everyone is coping with Hell World in different, increasingly dramatic and strange ways. We all know what's going on. We don't need to touch on it. That's why I'm just referring to it collectively as Hell World. I personally am trying not to judge because you got to do what you got to do just to get out of bed anymore. For example, I walked into the men's room at work the other day and I saw a bunch of empty, crumpled up Splenda packets sitting on top of the urinal. And the only explanation I could come up with for their presence was that someone was trying to sweeten toilet water for a dark purpose I dare not imagine. And yet, indescribably foul as any underlying implications might be, a glance at my updating news app the very minute I encountered that scene would have left me bereft of a reason to tell whomever was responsible to reconsider their actions. The world's ending. Drink pee for all I care.
Yep.
If you're going to drink pee, at least make it sweet.
Yeah, then fill out your absentee ballots to whatever complex specificities your state mandates and kiss your ass goodbye.
Kiss your pee goodbye.
Incidentally, though, if you want something sweet to drink other than Splenda Turlet water, I've got a good suggestion courtesy of our sponsors this evening.
Uh-oh.
Frankenstein Control is brought to you by Kool-Aid.
Oh.
I heard "K" come out, and I thought you were going to say Cologuard. I'm like, no!
No, not Cologuard this time.
Don't drink the Cologuard.
Although you could say it's sort of that, I don't know how similar that fluid you drink to make a stool sample. I'm getting that confused with colonoscopies.
Yes.
But
you don't want those samples.
No, I don't know how close in composition that is to Kool-Aid. That's
Just so you know, the chocolate drink Yoo-Hoo did not rebrand as Cologuard. Trust me on that one.
Anyhow, Kool-Aid is sponsoring Frankenstein Control tonight. That's right. If current events got you down, detached from reality the Jonestown way with Kool-Aid. I did want to talk about Kool-Aid for real though.
Uh-huh.
Because I recently saw an actual commercial. This is a commercial that really exists.
Oh, man, you went into the dark world of actually watching television?
I did. I don't remember where or when, but it was sometime relatively recently. Mm-hmm. And anyhow, yeah, the ad that I saw, it was animated, as they often are nowadays. And it featured a young boy in his living room.
Is the boy animated?
Yeah, the boy is animated.
Oh, okay.
It's all animated.
Okay. Okay, because I remember they would do the live-action commercials with the CG Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
They did that in our day. Not anymore. Now the whole thing's CG.
That was nearly as frightful as the man in the costume.
It really was. And they wonder why we're so fucked up.
That's why.
First 9/11 and then that.
It just keeps escalating.
It really does. We've never known peace.
Yeah.
That being said, though, the boy in the commercial is chilling out in his living room, drinking from a glass of soda or something, and he's like down at the slurping phase where like the liquid's all gone and the ice is just remaining, and he's like trying hard to get any remaining beverage out, and it's making the slurping noise that y'all immediately know what it sounds like, and it cuts to the Kool-Aid Man who is nearby in the bathroom, taking or getting out of the shower. Like the shower has been freshly used. There's a towel around his waist. He's looking in the bathroom mirror when
it's the only way he can refill.
He's full of red Kool-Aid, not water.
Well, he just pours the powder in there.
The mix in there. Well, I mean, that was gonna. Of course, where I was going with this was it begs the question: does the Kool-Aid Man's glass pitcher body produce body odor and skin oil that would necessitate him showering?
Yeah.
But anyhow, he's in a bathroom nearby, getting out of the shower, and he hears the sounds of that kid, having a difficult time with his beverage. So of course he responds to the rescue right away by exploding through the kid's wall, Kool-Aid Man style, and saying, "Oh yeah, of course." And
I imagine the Kool-Aid Man just bursts through a wall violently and goes, "Oh yeah, of course."
Yeah. It's just like the Soviet bootleg version where he's just like, "Oh yes." Or it says like hit, like HYET with an exclamation point or some shit. A backwards R in there.
Purchase today. Red cold help.
Red cold help. But the length of, like, it looked like he was taking a shower in that kid's bathroom.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know is, like, was he so close that he was taking a shower at that kid's house, and why?
Dude's a shitty roommate. That's for sure.
Your roommate's with the Kool-Aid man.
You are not getting that
That's
security.
how I feel.
No.
You basically are.
You're not getting that security deposit back, Ada. I'm sorry.
You're not. You're not. He's giant and red and full of liquid and it breaks through things. And
Well, I am full of liquid, technically.
we all are, but...
All our bones are wet.
Ugh. Ugh.
No one has dry bones. No one alive has dry bones, I should say.
I am reading the most recent book in the Abhorsen series, which is a fantastic fantasy novel series has to deal with necromancers a lot. And the necromancers in that book series use bells. There's like 7 bells, and they each do something different to the dead. And one of the bells is called like the Waker, and it's like a lot of times it's used to raise basic like necromantic constructs or corpses and stuff. And people who are not necromancers or used to them, which is like unusual for most of the characters. Most of the characters have been familiar with all this. This is like the first book where one of the protagonists has been like not down with that shit. Got hit with they're being attacked by a necromancer who was trying to raise servants against them, and that necromancer rung the Waker. And they described this horrible feeling. It almost like their own bones wanted to like come out of their flesh, like as it resonated through them. And it was like I was like, "Holy shit, that's awesome and horrible."
I just imagine like the necromancer doesn't feel anything, but then he gets the bell stolen away from him, and it rings, and he's like, "Wow, it is a lot. It is a lot better when you do it."
Oh God, is that what I've been doing to people?
Kind of like scraping your silverware against a plate.
Yeah, it's like I think it's easier for me because I'm the one making the noise.
Exactly.
Any number of interchangeable Family Guy bits from 2003.
Yes, Family Guy. Family Guy. I mean, hey, resurrecting Family Guy jokes from that long ago was basically necromancy.
You got to use the Waker to do that.
Yeah. Which bell does that? Is that the Waker? The Waker bell does that.
When you ring it, it just reverberates, and you hear.
Peter.
Oh God, that would be horrible. I would hate that. I would really, 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 really hate that.
A bell that makes Family Guy quotes,
or just anything like well, let's go with that. That'd be horrible.
Well, like, what's the impetus for this necromancer showing up at this dude's house? I assume he's like the Kool-Aid man in this commercial, and he's just taking a shower in the hero's shower, and then he hears the slurping sound, and he goes to wake the dead.
You're not far off.
Oh.
No, you're actually really far off.
Oh.
But,
I was excited for a second there.
The character on the receiving end of hearing the bell is actually a young girl, like 19-ish, and it would take a long, lore-filled explanation to describe who she is. It turns out she's like what's called an Abhorsen, which is an anti-necromancer. They are a person who is like crown appointed, and their duty is to like put down the constructs that other necromancers have raised,
So
and like
you're
put the dead back to rest, basically.
So you're the necro murderer.
Yeah, sure. You're the Undertaker, the
You don't
wrestler
raise
from
the dead.
WWF.
You put the dead back to
You
where they should have
unraise
been.
the dead.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
unraise.
Yeah.
Okay.
You make the zombies go away.
Speaking of unraised dead, who are we, Taylor?
Welcome to Frankenstein Control. It's Taylor. To my right is Ada.
Hi, I'm Ada, and I ruined the joke.
In front of me, as always, is B-Rye.
I'm B-Rye, and we were doing a Steven Universe bit where we were going to be gems, and I was going to say I'm Perryite, but I think that's a Daedra.
It is a Daedra.
That's
It's
a doofy dragon boy.
Wait a minute. Isn't that also the one that makes people throw up on you?
Yeah, it is the one. That's he looks like a weird couple of rats in Skyrim, but he's usually a dragon.
Yeah, that's how I always knew him. Was a big Dagron. He looks like rats.
In Skyrim, he manifests when he actually shows up and talks to you as a pair of skeevers.
I suppose it makes more sense that it's disease-infused rodents instead of a dragon. I think of one when I think of disease instead of the other. And
his realm
it's not
isn't
that it's
really
scaled one.
disease.
His realm is-
He just used disease in Skyrim for his. It'd be like, your power isn't always gun. You just shot that guy one time.
Fair enough. Then what is the realm of Periite? What is he? What's he all about? Kind of like how Namira is about scary dreams, or wait,
Namira
or is Namira the ugly one?
The
ugly one.
That's Namira. Namira is the one her realm is like disease and gross and spiders and scorpions and bats and shit. And she's the Halloween queen, is Namira.
I just imagine her ass as a stereotypical, depiction of a witch.
Yeah, pretty
With,
much.
like the crooked nose and the warts and stuff. That's how I imagine her. But is that Namira?
Yeah, that's Namira.
Then who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Nocturnal, maybe?
Nocturnal. That makes more sense that she would be
Or
called that and also be like
You're
dreams.
thinking of Sanguine as the dreams one.
There's too many fucking
There's too many
nighttime.
fucking... There's like 19 frickin' Daedra Lords, and some of their abilities overlap, and it's confusing as fuck, and there's like...
God damn it with these fucking Daedra.
Yeah.
Have we been speaking English for the past 5 minutes?
Oh no,
I'm not
this is
really
basically
sure.
just watching the first Lord of the Rings movie.
Oh, you're talking about Lord of the Rings, or are you talking about Skyrim?
No, we're talking about Skyrim. It's just,
I have no idea what's
well, no,
going
I was just
on.
gonna say it's like watching the first Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, non-director's cut, like the theater cut of it, and you're just watching it. And if you know nothing about the books, everybody's just like, "Are these fuckers speaking English?" I love that movie though.
I need to do a
the director's
rewatch.
cut of that movie. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very good movie.
There's no reason to watch anything less.
Yeah, exactly. You either watch the director's cut or just don't watch it. It's very good. Welcome to Frankenstein Control. We talk about fantasy a lot, so it would seem.
Welcome to Frankenstein Control. It was made by the dead, and the dead keep it.
Yes. I went on a road trip recently.
Let's
As
hear
you
about
two
that.
already know, but the audience doesn't.
Let's hear about it.
Our special boy, Taylor's brother, our good friend Brian, has moved to California, and I took him half the way there. I drove with him to Texas.
It's a long ass drive.
It was the longest drive. Took us 2 days, and I really impressed both of us, like myself mostly, with how long I could drive for. Because I usually like drive down to Richmond to visit my parents, and that's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour drive, depending on traffic. And that always sucks. Like just doing that, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be driving anymore. Fuck this. But I was
I'm always
driving.
like, why are distances so long?
Yeah, I was driving 8 hours in a row after being awake for over 16 hours. Like when I started driving, I was awake for 24 hours. The last 8 of that was straight driving.
That's
Wow.
horrifying and not safe.
And I was fine the whole time.
Where'd you guys sleep, by the way?
The first night we
The
stayed.
gutter.
The first night we stayed at his aunt's place,
Okay.
and that was a lot of fun
In Tennessee?
Yep. with a beautiful view.
It is quite nice. They have a nice house.
Yeah.
Tennessee is where the protagonist of Blood Meridian is from.
All right.
Yeah.
The
Back in the
protagonist, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that explains why I did see I don't know, a pale horse with a judge on it shooting people or something.
Welcome to Tennessee, state sports scalping.
Yeah. The Tennessee Scalpers. But that night with his aunt was fun. There was like a party going on that we crashed and had chicken and waffles
Nice.
that were amazing.
Never a bad time for that.
Yeah. But that was the first day of the trip. The second day we're going from like Nashville all the way to Dallas. But we made a stop first in Memphis, Tennessee, at the
Did you go to Dollywood? Wait, is that there?
I don't think so. Is at the pyramid-shaped Bass Pro Shops, which was as ridiculous and amazing as one probably never thought it would be. Because it's a Bass Pro Shop shaped like a pyramid. But it was cool as hell.
And there, as a giant pyramid rising above the plain like a profane temple of Baal.
Yeah.
But with a big old fish on the front.
Big old fish.
With unlimited ducks.
You showed me a video that you took in the elevator as you guys were coming back down from the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
And the voiceover in the elevator is like, come on down and sit in the rocking chair. Hoo boy, that sounds like a good old time.
Hoo boy, that sounds like a fun time to me.
And it took me the longest time while you were showing me the video to realize that it wasn't you putting on an exaggerated accent and saying goofy shit. Almost the entire video before I realized it wasn't you saying that.
And our hotel rooms have a whole full kitchen where you can cook a nice dinner on a Sunday morning after going to church. Wow, that sounds nice to me. That's basically how the video goes.
You can bread and fry an entire Holstein cow in your... in every single one of our luxurious
The bathtub converts
suites.
to a deep fat fryer, so you can put your entire side of beef at the same time to make a delicious roast made from oil.
Dump the oil directly down the turlet, because fuck the environment.
Yeah.
Dump it directly down my throat.
Just drink your used oil. But they have aquariums and animals and stuff in the building. They have ducks that can just roam free.
That's crazy as hell.
There's a little pond in the...
Do they shit all over the merchandise?
I didn't notice any. We saw just this pond and over to the side of some candy aisle and shoe stuff, and the ducks are just hanging out, laying there. And Brian's like, "Those are real. Those are alive."
That's crazy
We watch
as
them and
hell.
they're twitching, and I guess they don't.
They're twitching? That doesn't sound good.
You know how things
You
twitch.
sure?
They're upside down and twitching with one leg and going...
They were streaming video games. One of the ducks was playing Fortnite. The other one was flossing.
And the other one was doing a mukbang.
Yeah. But they weren't in a glass enclosure or anything. If they wanted to, they could have just flown over and pecked the shit out of you. But I guess they know better. I don't want to deal with these weirdos.
Fortunately, if you are attacked by a duck, see your closest shotgun retailer.
Oh, wait, we're a Bass Pro Shop. Buy a shotgun from us. And proceed to slay the duck.
Really funny is hearing someone with a southern accent refer to killing anything as slaying it.
Slay your enemies with our 40 caliber.
Buy you a SIG P226 at our gun counter and slay thy enemies. Please conserve all oil from your hotel room bath fryers. 'Cause we will need that to pour on assaulting enemies.
Yeah.
Which assaulting enemies? Stay around long enough and you'll find out.
Look around and find out, y'all.
Take thine +1 great sword and swing it at yonder opponent.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Their vorpal blade will decapitate on a critical hit.
But once we left there, the pyramid is right on the border of Tennessee and Arkansas, or Arkansas as I prefer to call it.
Yes.
And you could see the sign from the top of the pyramid that's "Welcome to Arkansas." I'm like, that's pretty cool. And there's nothing in Arkansas. Once we got on the road, there were we didn't see a single place where a person could live. We saw 2 gas stations. There was a 24-hour adult boutique
Say.
that we absolutely wanted to stop at. No, we didn't.
No.
Ah.
See, I'm never sure with you. 'Cause
Yeah, you're right.
You do creepy kink stuff. Not even because you are tantalized by it, but just to watch whatever train wreck they got going on.
Be right. They're not going to let me bring my 50-pound hydraulic dildo on the plane as a carry-on. I'll just get that here.
Well, you could have brought the dildo ballista. That folds up.
Well, I already had a carry-on.
Ah.
I didn't want to.
I'm sorry, I just wanted the concept of a dildo ballista to exist.
It's like a cannon that fires giant dildos out of it.
Oh, no, it's a giant crossbow.
Oh, it's a ballista.
So it's just... And you know, like the slow motion footage they have of like arrows when they're firing off, and they like do that wobble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a bad dragon
Commercial right
dildo.
there. Hey,
Just wobbling in the wind.
Bad Dragon, you wanna set some folks up with a slow mo camera? We'll do some commercials for you.
Yeah.
It's the Bad Dragon Bodkin Point Slayer.
Bodkin Point.
Arrows for armor piercing, for like punching through plate, had, instead of like an arrowhead, they had almost like a ice pick point. That's called a bodkin tip arrow.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen those before.
Have y'all ever eaten at Sonic?
I love Sonic. We're getting one near Lissa and I's house too.
Cool. Do y'all ever get the like chicken tender dinner?
That's fantastic.
What comes with it? And it came with French toast
and Chick Tracks.
Chick Tracks? Oh, do they hand those out?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying you were in Arkansas.
Ah, yes. But it comes with French toast and gravy. And a single onion ring. Is that normal, or is that a weird Arkansas Sonic thing?
I don't know.
Because, like, I was into that. Like, something about just having French toast and gravy was like, why have I never seen this as a thing?
All I know about Sonic is they do have good hot dogs there.
Oh, yeah. They got all kinds of good stuff.
They got good shit.
Sonic.
They got everything good at Sonic.
I'm frightened to hear that they're opening one near us, because that place is bad for me.
It's bad for all of us, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I will say that my most vivid memory of Sonic was about 5 or 6 years ago. It was still in Richmond. And Lissa and I went to one for lunch. And then I actually think it was around this time of year, because we just got back from the farm where we got our pumpkin. We always get pumpkins at this one farm called like Ashlandberry Farms or something like that, when we still lived in Richmond.
You got your cat from a farm?
This was long before the boy existed. But we ate lunch at a Sonic, and I got they have extremely good like Slurpee slushy things there. Mm-hmm. And I got a grape one, because we all know that's the correct flavor to get of Slurpees and slushies.
Great flavor.
And it was unbelievably nectar of the gods delicious, but I drank it so fast I gave myself the worst brain freeze.
I thought you was gonna say you gave yourself diabetes.
No, I had never gotten brain freeze as bad as I did. I was like in mute animal agony. Just like, I couldn't think, because I was just a being of solid pain.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's the next Metal Gear character.
I've heard about like those cluster headaches people get that are supposedly so bad they cause people to commit suicide.
Wow.
And I was like, if I felt like this for a prolonged period of time, I might kill myself to end it.
Yeah.
This is really, really, really bad. And then it like wore off, and I was like, where's that fucking slushy?
Oh man, that made me thirsty.
I want to take it a little slower this time, but I'm not going to stop eating this.
Yeah. Before we took this trip, a lot of our family and friends were worried about us, because we're going through Bible Bump in Southtown, visibly queer.
Yeah.
Like, I pass pretty well if I don't speak. Brian passes for male 100%, but does not pass for straight. So, yes. But we were fine. There was like one gas station we pulled over at where there were like some weirdos staring at us, but like.
And then they were like, we don't like your kind around here. And you whipped around and you're like, oh! And then you looked and you saw this guy angrily yelling at a brand of potatoes. It's like, we don't like your kind of potatoes around here. And you're like,
scallop potatoes.
Oh, thank goodness. And then he just turns to you and goes, I'm freakishly gay.
I've got a bad dragon in right now. That's not my phone.
When we got into Texas, we were really low on gas, so we pulled over, and in just this random town, and Brian's like, "Oh no, what if it's a Klan town?" And like later, we saw one of those big road signs that they use for construction over on the side of the road, and it was flashing, "Make sure to wear a mask" in Spanish and English. Mm-hmm. So I'm like. It's got a sign telling us to wear a mask in 2 different languages. Pretty sure this isn't a Klan town, which is a sad metric to measure things by.
Make sure to maintain 6-foot distance while lynching.
No! F-I!
Well, they were social distancing before all of us. They were wearing a mask before all of us.
Shut up. Don't give them any credit for anything.
No. When I was a kid, this is more of a disturbing story, not really that funny, but I was on a field trip. I don't remember if it was like with a summer camp or with actual school, but they took us somewhere nearby, comparatively speaking, my house in Maryland.
And then the tour group went through it. It's like, and here we have B-Rye Bedford Forrest, founder of the Ku Klux Klan.
No.
Great-grandfather of B-Rye, right there. They point you out in the audience, just keep pointing their finger at you.
No, I was just on this school bus as we were like doing whatever field trip we were doing. And I just looked at a passing like highway sign, and it said it was like one of those "this highway sponsored by" signs or whatever, and it said just like "this highway sponsored by the KKK."
Oh God!
And I was like, "They're real?" Because like I was like 9.
Yeah,
I was like 9. I had like the briefest, most PG explanation of who and what they were for my parents, who just wanted to impress upon me that they were not good people.
Right.
And I was like, I just couldn't imagine people being that evil on purpose and then like being open about it and like telling you that they believed in that.
Well, now you
and
just
I was like,
gotta look at the news
that's
cycle.
a thing? Well, yeah, now I'm completely, all of those illusions have been shattered now, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a 31-year-old nihilistic misanthrope. But back then I was like, wow, it was just shocking to me that they're like, there really are people like that, and they're not shy about saying that they're like that. That's just such a hard concept for me to get my head around.
Yeah. But Dallas was really pretty.
Dallas is really nice. That is because it is Dallas and Fort Worth are the one blue spot in the red ocean, Texas electoral map. Mm-hmm. It's like solid red with a blue dot, and that blue dot is Dallas.
Yeah.
Alyssa went there for one of her conferences back in the day, and she was telling me about it. It's like the Richmond of Texas.
The whole time we were in Texas, it was overcast, and when we were pulling up to the city, all the skyscrapers were like disappearing into the clouds.
That's kind of cool.
Which added kind of a mystical aspect to it all. The hotel that we stayed at was in the airport because he of course is going to California. I just took him halfway to Texas. We met one of his partners that he's moving in with, and I flew back home. Mm-hmm. The hotel at the airport was nice. When we got into the room, the TV was already on, and it had like a picture-in-picture kind of thing. On one side, it's like Mario Lopez with the new movies, and on the side it says "Welcome to your room, Brian full name," which was a little creepy. Also creepy is that Mario Lopez looks like he's halfway into anamorphing into a Ken doll. Like his body doesn't look real anymore. He looks like plastic.
I haven't checked in on Homeboy in a while. I'll have to Google him later.
Yeah. And then the channel just changed itself. It stopped being on this like TV Guide thing and then went to AMC and was playing this movie that I had to look it up.
It was Suicidal Squidward.
No, it was called. I think it's called
Bend Round.
Talk.
No,
it's called Salam Bombay, and it's about this. It was like a really depressing movie that was actually. We're like watching it and we're like, what the fuck is this movie? Also, this is extremely compelling. Mm-hmm. It's about this street kid in India trying to earn enough money to go back home because he had been exiled from his family, and of course he's trying to dig his way out of homelessness, which just is not something you can do. Mm-hmm. So it's just like setback after failure and everything, and he's like working near this brothel like as like a tea runner, and like there's a pimp and stuff. And
I just pictured like an Indian guy with a giant pimp hat and the platform lifts with goldfish in them.
And
oh my god.
Sounds like Apu when he says, "Bitch better have my money."
This is all Indian language, by the way. Hindi, I assume.
That's really cool.
That's what they speak over there. It's hard to identify it. As a hunky that I am. But like the acting was really good. Like there's so much drama and so many people that end up crying. Mm-hmm. And it's like this one guy's like having a breakdown because he got fired from like his only source of income and his only source of drugs, and he's like having like really bad withdrawals and everything, and he's begging in the streets, and he gets like beat up, and he's just like on the ground sobbing, breaking down, and it's like, did they actually beat the shit out of this guy?
By a real pimp.
Yes, a real pimp showed up on set. Nobody stopped him because they thought he was the character. He just beat the shit out of this actor, and no one stopped him because they thought they were just such good actors.
Yeah. And
My God, what a compelling performance.
I don't know if this is India or if this was just this movie, but every single character in this movie slaps or gets slapped. Like, this movie is just rife with slapping. It's constant.
It's how they say hello over there.
It's just just slap, slap,
They're like,
slap.
Grandma, so good to see you.
Pretty much.
That's funny.
Well,
I mean, it's not funny. It's actually... that was the only response I had to that, because that's
Yeah.
the way my brain works. Sorry.
I think it's funny. Just you're getting this cultural window that you don't normally get.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, things are different, and I latch onto these things because I'm not used to them.
Yeah.
And now, don't you feel more cultured?
I do feel more cultured.
Don't you feel like you're hosting bacteria growth?
Yes, I already am.
Okay, good.
Anyway, the plane ride was fun.
Were you the only people on it?
No, they had so few people on it that they were like shuffling people around to not have any people in rows that didn't need to be in rows, or like any empty rows. So I had the whole thing to myself.
That's
God,
pretty sweet.
that as far as plane rides go, that sounds like heaven.
And once we started taking off, I started crying because I really miss my boy.
Oh, I thought you just like planes a lot.
Well, there was a baby in front of me that was crying. I'm like, you know what, mood, and started crying myself. It's just how it works. I'm just that empathetic.
Clearly.
When we flew back from LA last year, our return flight had like so few people on it that they spaced us all out. We all basically got our own rows. It was sweet as hell, and they all gave us like complimentary like meals and complimentary drinks.
Yeah.
Multiples.
Wow.
And I had like 2 gin and tonics on the flight home, and they were free. And I was like, this fucking rules.
Yeah, this is only like a 2-hour flight, which I slept through the entirety of.
Yeah.
Like once we were up in the air, I'm like, oh, the clouds are pretty. I'm like, and then was immediately woken up to we're going to be landing in about 20 minutes.
The whole time you were asleep, you're also like,
Pretty much.
and then the stewardess came over, and you looked up, and they were Indian, and they slapped you.
My tears were real; they weren't acting.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. And then a big old pimp group came and beat you up. What a fucking
She
crazy...
slapped you, and a
set of
nearby pimp said,
circumstances.
damn, that's cold.
And then you touched down in good old... You went from Dallas to Dulles.
Uh huh.
The Dulles Airport, for all you people who, let's not kid ourselves, the only people who are listening to this know what Dulles Airport is.
If there's a hell, those creepy Dallas brothers are there.
What was funny is when I booked this flight like a month ago, like the Google travel advisor was like, hey, here's things to do in DC now that you're going there. I'm like, I live here, asshole.
Yeah.
Also, you do know that a cat man is still stealing pants right now, right? Can't exactly go to all the Washington monuments, etc.
1 million
You guys went to
worldwide.
Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
You guys went to Bass Pro Shop and went to the pyramid and gave the ducks COVID.
You mean Revere pants?
That's the one.
Over 1 million people have had their pants stolen.
Over
Yeah.
over 1 million people served. Revere. Fuck you, humans. Hey everybody, let's just go ahead and we gotta catch a plane. We gotta get to Dulles to fly to Dallas because Ada forgot her bad dragon souvenir that she bought at the Bass Pro Shop. So
did.
yeah, we gotta go back. So
I forgot my corkscrew cock.
Oh, God, no.
what's that, Donald?
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.